Hello, everyone. Welcome to Higher Perspectives. I'm Michelle Lee, and today we're talking about climate change. And I thought how perfect it would be to be outside in my yard. Don't really have a yard, but on our land and enjoying the sound of the breeze in the pine trees and the sound of birds, all of it, to talk about higher perspectives of climate change. So remember, when we talk about higher perspectives and we're talking about what's going on in the world, we're talking about what's going on in the matrix on this particular timeline. And as I spoke last week about mass hypnosis, all of these topics, everything we see going on inside the matrix are opportunities to divide and conquer humanity. And climate change is just one more topic of that. Now, am I here to say whether the climate is changing? Yes or no? Obviously, the climate is changing. Is the climate change unnatural, and is it caused by humanity? I don't know. I think climates change quite naturally. And history shows, and if you're familiar with Greg Braden, he does a lot of research and shares a lot about the cycles that the earth goes through. And what's happening with the climate at this time is not any different than the cycles that the earth goes through every 26,000 years. Something like that. Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me. We're talking about climate change. And so is climate change something to be reactionary about? This is what we talk about in Higher Perspectives, is that all of these topics, all of these ideas are tools to trigger emotions within you. And it's emotions that keep us in a timeline in this matrix. The timeline is being created for us, not by us. I mean, it's being created by us through the desires of the powers that be that benefit from our suffering and that benefit from the money they can make. Now, when it comes to power and the way we live with electricity and being able to travel and cars and planes, there has been technology, free technology available for us to access the energy of the planet without doing harm to the planet. But at the time of those technologies coming out, well, anytime those technologies have come out and humans have, invented this technology, tuned into it because it's in the ethers, right? There is a way for us to live in harmony on this planet without consuming everything to nothing, right? And that information is available in the ethers, which comes through humanity as inventions of way to power vehicles with different ways and way to access free energy, which is of course available on this planet. But then those people get unalived, and quite suspiciously, right? So here's how you pull yourself out of this narrative in the matrix, so you don't get caught up in it's a whole nother way of the programming, the lack and limitation programming, right? That there's only so much fuels and resources on the planet, and as we use them, we're destroying the planet, which is then causing climate change, which will then destroy humanity. All of that is based on the program of not enough, the program of scarcity, which, look at this, I am in the forest The forest is a feminine landscape. Forests are feminine because they are thriving and infinite abundance, right? Like there is so much life in this forest. And that is the natural state. That is the natural state of the planet, is infinite abundance. And so how you pull yourself out of this story of climate change is to, one, pull your emotions out of it. Don't get into the argument. Don't look for who's right and who's wrong, because there are truth and lies in every perspective. Okay, so understand there's truth and lies, and be willing to discern the information that you are getting. So don't get caught up in it. Don't become reactionary to it. Don't argue with anyone about it. All right, that's number one. Number two, do what I'm doing right now, which is sitting in nature, communing with our mother, communing and reconnecting with Mother Nature. She has the answers. She has the answers for us, how to live more organically. And what I mean is from your soul. Living organically is from your soul. What we have learned and have been programmed to do in the Matrix is to live by programs. Live by programs. There's so many programs we are running. Megan and I were talking today on the phone, talking about the 9-to-5 program, right? Like, in order to survive on this planet, I have to do the 9-to-5 program to make the money so I can have the experiences I want. It's a program, right? And it's a program your soul, it doesn't ascribe to. And if you take time to get in nature, wherever that is, that may be a city park. The birds are going. That may be a city park. Getting your feet in the grass, getting your feet on the sand at the ocean, putting your feet on the ground, breathing and reconnecting with Mother Earth. That is how to release from the Matrix. Release yourself from the Matrix and reconnect with our life-giving Earth, right? This Matrix is based on death. The Matrix is based on a program of death, which is an illusion and a lie. So I invite you to get out into nature as much as possible, daily if you can. Take your feet off, take your shoes off, leave your feet on, take your shoes off, put your feet in the ground. Just put your feet in the ground and do some sun gazing first thing in the morning, within 45 minutes of the sunrise and 45 minutes of the sunset, and receive the light and information and the codes of wisdom that speak to your soul. And you will align with the natural rhythms of the mother. And the more humans that align with the natural rhythms of our Mother Gaia, the more in tune we're going to become with her, and the more we're going to recognize this timeline, this artificial timeline of climate change and climate emergencies is a program that we're being invited into. And when you connect your feet to the ground, your eyes to the sun, your heart in love, then you are reconnecting, absolutely reconnecting to the natural rhythms of our Mother Earth, where life is abundant, right? Life is abundant, and you are abundant and safe and protected and eternal in every way. So that's how I feel about climate change. I just want to say, as I was sitting out here waiting for the time to go live, it took us a while to get used to seeing all of the life. It looks like there's no life back here, but just as I was sitting back here, there's a little bird on this tree and a little bird on this tree. I think they're little warblers, and they just go around the tree pecking and eating the insects, and you almost don't see that. And then if you just stare at the landscape, eventually you'll see squirrels run by, and you'll hear them chase each other around the trees. It's quite glorious. And they are living and hearing the hawks. We've got hawks across the way, 3 of them living in nests across the way, and we've got ravens. I was telling Todd out here, there are 3 ravens that live nearby here, and they are so loud. And I was trying to explain it to him, like, they are living life. They're flying around, and they're communicating, and they're talking, and they're playing and going back and forth. And it's like they are living a life. They are truly living a life. They have the things they're doing, the things they're saying, the places they're going, and it's just incredible. So what would your soul be doing right now if you weren't caught up in survival, if you weren't caught up in all the fears that are being fed to us? What would your soul be doing? That's what you're invited right now. My soul is sitting amongst the pine trees with my feet on the ground, listening to the birds, listening to the breeze in the trees, and just communing with the life that Mother Gaia is. So next week, I will see you for Higher Perspectives. We're going to be talking about the economy and money in the matrix, and how you get to escape that too. All right, thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you're listening to this on replay. Post #replay in the comments. Would love to hear your suggestions on other topics that I can bring to the table, to bring higher perspectives to. Just let you look at my background. Thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.